In the midst of Juneteenth celebrations, the home of the man who started the Lawton Sill Juenteenth Committee was officially dedicated as the community's newest historical addition. Here is a look at today's celebration.
I had a conversation with my dad. What are we going to do with 202? He says, sister, we'll make a decision on 202.
202 is the address on Gore Boulevard that has been awarded the distinction of being placed on the National Historic Registry.
Now, like I said, when you search out historic places in Lawton, Oklahoma, you have Carnegie Library Town Hall, you have the National Guard Armory, you have the Little Chapel, and now, through the achievements of the Johnson family, as well as Dr. Sarah Janda and her team, the colleagues that she worked with, you have the Albert Johnson family home on that list.
Josephine Johnson moved to Lawton to work with the USO for Black soldiers at what is now called the Patterson Center. She met Albert Johnson Sr., and as their son says, that continued a legacy established by his grandparents of education and community service.
When he came out of Winston-Salem State back to Lawton, Oklahoma, his mother convinced him, because she was the matriarch of the family, that he was going to stay here and coach football with H.C. King. He was going to live in that little house. He was going to pay her rent, and he's going to live there until he got married. And that's exactly what he did.
Family was and still remains vital for the Johnson family, but community comes in at a close second. The elder Johnsons were members of what was known as the Group. That entity helped racial change come to Lawton.
But they would literally go into a restaurant as couples, not together, just as couples, and they would all sit down. And I would say it'd be 5 to 7 couples. And if the staff would come over and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to serve you, all of them would get up together and walk out. And so it started to send this message to the community, hey, everybody ought to be given an opportunity to go out and eat. And it was hugely successful.
Albert Johnson Sr. also worked to desegregate the school system, and he initiated the Lawton Sill Juneteenth celebration that we are in the midst of. Prior to his passing, he handed it down to the leadership of Bishop John Dunaway. Johnson Jr. commends the work that has gone on and agrees with the bishop that it is evolving and how crucial it is that young people understand what it's all about.
One of the things the bishop talked about was adding some educational components to it. So it's not just a day off. Why is it a day off? Why is 1865 important? Why was it 2 years later that black folks in Texas found out that we had been freed for 2 years? That's the part we got to keep going. The celebrations are great, but let's don't miss the message that's inside there that we need to share.
While it was a day of celebration of the past, Johnson Jr. says it should be viewed with an eye to the future, one he is looking forward to actively enhancing the family legacy and continue impacting this community even through Young Men's Mentoring Program, a group also created by his dad.